I believe that emerging technologies such as wearables and artificial intelligence make a big difference now with the COVID-19, with the coronavirus. And before I saw digital health evolving and maturing, but now I think a post COVID-19 will be a big push for these technologies to be implemented and adopted by the wider populations.
Hello, and welcome to a whole new episode of Engati Engage. I'm your host, Jeremy D'Souza, and today we have the wearable expert, Joao Bocas, gracing our show with his presence. But before starting the interview, let me introduce you to the magic of Engati. Engati is the world's leading multilingual no-code chatbot platform, available across 14 channels with 25,000 bots created across 186 countries in every domain and use case. Engati has also been recognized as a top platform by Inc.com, TechWorld, CIO, and many others. We run the Engati blog, video channel, and the Engati Engage podcast, receiving upwards of 300,000 visitors annually. And now, for our amazing guest over here. Joao Bocas is the world's #1 wearables thought leader and keynote speaker. He's a globally recognized business thought leader, mentor, advisor, and entrepreneur. With over 25 years of hands-on experience in professional sport and corporate environments, working with senior management, boards, and executive teams, Joao has worked across healthcare, financial services, media, sporting, and public sector organizations. He was a finalist in the Great British Entrepreneurs Awards 2015, a top 100 global digital health influencer, and is a global advisor and board member of several tech companies. We're absolutely thrilled to have you with us today, Joe.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Okay, so before diving into this interview, here's a quick announcement. We have a gift for all you wonderful, amazing members of our audience. So stick around to the end of this interview and I'll reveal it. Joe, should we get started?
Go ahead.
How is wearable technology different from what the entire world thinks it's limited to? I mean, a lot of people think it's limited to smartwatches, but we even have smart sneakers, which have been around for decades now. So how is it different from what everyone thinks it is? And how is ML and AI aiding in the advancement of wearable tech?
Yeah, so wearable technologies is actually a very exciting field, and anything that can be worn in the human body. I mean, when we think about wearable technologies, we think about wearable technology devices, but now we actually going beyond the devices, because now anything can be worn around the human body. Any electronic device is considered wearable technology.
So would your AirPods that you're wearing be considered wearable tech right now?
Exactly. Now, actually, they call them the hearables because they are hearing devices. So they are actually wearable technology.
Oh, pretty interesting.
So, yeah. So now from smart jewelry to smart watches that you mentioned is the most popular. Of course, the traditional fitness trackers, but now we have smart clothing, smart shoes that you mentioned, AirPods and hearables. We have e-textile, is smart clothing, vesting. So it's very, very broad.
Definitely. So how do you think chatbots are changing customer support in the healthcare industry? And, maybe how they can be used in wearables to get answers to what people want immediately?
Well, chatbots are very interesting, and actually they've been already using in the healthcare industry for quite some time. As you know, many industry-leading digital health companies are using chatbots now, and the chatbots are used for initial scrutiny and assessment, and are used right now as a symptom checker. So the patient goes in, have a small interaction with the chatbot, They give you a kind of an initial appraisal. If the condition, the assessment, if the condition of the health condition is not severe, they might ask you to keep an eye on your temperature or symptoms. If they think it's something more severe, they initially make a judgment and send you to a professional consultant or for more investigation. So they are already in use, you know.
Definitely. Speaking about the symptom checking and all those things, we at Engati actually designed a chatbot to help combat the COVID crisis. It includes symptom checks, and it also has, well, a way of spreading awareness and busting myths around the entire thing. So I think chatbots are entirely going to help the healthcare industry.
Absolutely.
How should these B2B products be marketed? How should they be marketed, and what's the reality of the situation right now? How are they actually being marketed? What's the gap?
Yeah, well, very good question. There is a lot of competition, but what I always say, I work with a lot of startups and scale-ups in the past. I've done quite a lot of international business development, and is understanding the size of the marketplace. Okay, and but also healthcare is very different than many other industry. It's very scalable, but also every country is different. The healthcare systems are different. So, for example, I am based in UK. In UK, we're very fortunate to have the free of usage national health system, the NHS. If we talk about the US, is a completely 100% private marketplace with with the remuneration of, I mean, health insurance companies, and I mean it's completely different. If we talk about Germany, for example, is a combination of both, of public and the private organizational health. If we talk about Netherlands, is a completely different system. So it's very important to understand before any kind of plans to expansion, to understand the health markets, the health systems in depth. And what I see also is some countries are more similar to others. I'll give you an example. The Nordic health systems are perhaps similar to their neighbors, but are more aligned, for example, with the Netherlands, for example, with Holland. So is a traditional progression, a natural progression to go and scale up and expand in a similar market. And I see that quite a lot. So it's a lot to ponder and assess where you can actually go and penetrate other markets.
Mm-hmm. How do you think B2B influencer marketing is really changing the game? Because normally influencer marketing is seen as a B2C concept, but now B2B seems to be coming up over here.
Yeah, B2B is actually very hot at the moment. I mean, influencer marketing is an industry in its own right. And marketing has evolved over the years, you know. The traditional advertising, it's shrinking, existing in certain industries. You know, certain industries, they still have the traditional advertising on TV, mainly consumer brands, but also in a traditional sense, for example, in publications, magazines, the traditional advertising is, is diminishing. So now we have the digital platforms that are taking actually the marketing by storm. You see Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and now is TikTok and other new ones coming up. But I mean, the B2B influencer marketing is very appealing for brands for several reasons. Well, to acquire more customers and try to push out their products and services in the first place, but also to create engagement online, build brand and reputation, be associated. For example, I'm working with a very large tech brand now. They associated with a lot of goodwill projects. They also associated with tech for all projects. So the brands are interested in different things, sustainability agendas, combating poverty globally. So it's a lot of different things that they want to be seen doing it. So in B2B influencer marketing can tap into a lot of these agendas and also necessarily reach in the first place. That's why brands use influencers such as myself and others in the marketplace.
Makes perfect sense over there. So how is AI helping your clients? And what major change would one expect to see after incorporating AI?
Well, good question. In healthcare, is all about better outcomes for the patients, and technology play a really big role in there. But AI is actually on the ground impacting widely from definitely managing wider data and more data at time with better capabilities, but also diagnosing quickly, improving healthcare outcomes, as I mentioned, but better patient care, which is extremely important, but reducing costs and also the integration and accessibility of the information and the reducing treatment times up to half, up to 50%, which is astonishing.
Um, are there any thoughts that you'd like to share with the audience while you're with us over here?
Yeah, I've been working on several things, and I believe that emerging technologies such as wearables and artificial intelligence make a big difference now with the COVID-19, with the coronavirus. And before I saw digital health evolving and maturing, but now I think a post COVID-19 will be a big push for these technologies to be implemented and adopted by the wider populations. But in my book, I wrote a chapter in a book about the combination of wearables and artificial intelligence will be the true game changer in healthcare. And I truly believe that. And there's a lot of different insights there. I translated that chapter of course, in English, but it's also available in Spanish, Portuguese, and Russian. And I'm due to do a translation of the chapter for German. But to finalize, I also done a 159 pages health wearables research report addressing some of the main issues related to wearable technologies in terms of adoption, barriers, usage for long term. So my audience know that they can access that by contact me or you guys and have access to this marketplace expertise.
Definitely. So what do you think about wearables possibly helping in tracking patients and of the whole COVID-19 thing? Do you think that's going to be a thing?
I think there will be definitely a thing because wearables promote, access to remote monitoring capabilities. And I think now, for example, with the COVID-19, one of the things that's happening with people infected is no one wants to go around them. They need to be isolated. So if we don't have contact with them, nobody knows what's going on with them, how can we know if they are recovering, if they have higher temperature, if they well? And I think wearables are a perfect fit and the perfect vehicle there to give us access to the person's insides and the body signs and vital signs necessary to diagnose, but also to keep one eye on a regular check.
All right. So this has been really enlightening for all of us over here. You've really opened our eyes on the whole wearable scene and the healthcare scene. Thank you so much for that, Joao. And for the audience, you should definitely follow him on LinkedIn and Twitter. He's got lots of value to give you out there.
Jeremy, thank you.
You're most welcome. You deserve it. Also, for our audience, I did mention that we have an announcement for you. Our ebook, The Evolution of Customer Experience, is now available for you for free in the resources section of www.engati.com. So definitely go there and check it out. Engati Engage will be back with a new episode and a new expert really soon. So stay tuned and subscribe over here.